What's up, Lazy Tony Vapes here, back at the Central Cloud Vapors HQ. It's been a while since I've said that because it is the new year. Happy New Year to all of you. Chinese New Year is right around the corner. Matt's over there making a big noise. There he goes. It's awesome to be back. Thank you very much for hanging tough during the hiatus. But we're back to do a full-on review of the Mag Grip and the Baby Beast 2. So let's first start with the mod itself. Now, I was not a big fan of the first, revolver-esque mod that Smok came out with, and then they came out with this little baby brother one, and I really did like it in theory. The one main reason why was because it was first ambidextrous, like you could be a left-hander or a right-hander and it would work in either or. The screen was right here at the top, so you would still be able to see what your wattage was, what your voltage was. The biggest problem for me, and this really has to do with more of how much I vape versus maybe somebody else, because it is just a single battery, even though it's one of these gargantuan batteries, or you can use the mod to use an 18650. But even so, the battery life for me was just maybe, I had to use 3 of these in a day. Let me just put it to you that way. And that might just be me. It probably is. But with that being said, having something with 2 batteries, aka just something simple like this, I didn't really have to worry about that. But if you're not using up the battery so much, this might be more in your wheelhouse. It is kind of a nice, well, for lack of a better word, icebreaker. You pull this out of your pocket, people look at it weirdly and they're like, what the hell is that in your hand? Well, there's the Mag Grip and I vape off of it, and please don't shoot me. I think it's really cool. Also, they have different colors of this, and this is the whole kit. You can get the Mag Grip with the Baby Beast V2 with the matching colors. And the other thing I do like about it is that it is built very well. It is extremely sturdy. The downside is that it is still extremely big. I mean, something like this being in your pocket. Guys, we have big pockets, it's fine. This is still way too big. Like, it's like this protrudes in a weird manner that if someone looks at the outline of your pocket, they're not gonna know what's in your pocket. And it might be a bad thing that they don't know what's in your pocket. It is a little bit top heavy. I had noticed that as well too. When it comes to the tank, let's move over to the tank here. The Baby Beast V2. Now this tank normally is a mesh style coil that it accepts. And at first I was not a fan of mesh. I had a number of different tanks that had a number of different issues with mesh. And now, because of the power of patience, I learned that mesh needs a little bit more love in the beginning as you're ramping it up. And since then, the flavor and the output of the cloud has been phenomenal. See what I'm talking about? Now, I'm actually using an S2 coil in here. However, I was informed that the S1 coil, which is fairly newer and actually better than the coils that come in the kit or just the tank by itself, because it's better for the battery life. And as I just mentioned, battery life for me wasn't the greatest, and primarily that was with the A coils. So overall, I would probably have to recommend that you stick with the S1 coil, but that cloud production, flavor production is really, really good, and it will last you for about a week. The other nice thing I really do like about the tank is, and we had mentioned this in the impressions video, the stopper, or rather the silicone that makes sure that the e-liquid is snugly in this 5 milliliter capacity is no longer on the bottom. It's now part of the top swivel piece. Now, this isn't gonna come out. It's glued in there, but you no longer have to worry about it bunching up as you're closing it. The locking mechanism is really good. The only issue I did have with the tank itself was the airflow hole. It's still kind of sticky, like even now, but it's not as loose as, say, like this coil, this Cobra edition. This is nice and loose, and you could just make it any size air hole that you want. This one, you kind of have to put a little bit more effort into it. Not much. It's really not that big of a deal. So with all things considered, would I recommend this? Well, if you're not looking for a gargantuan sized tank, then yes, I would recommend the tank. Otherwise, if you're a chain vapor and you tend to go through 5 milliliters quite quickly, I'd recommend a larger size tank, preferably 8 milliliters if you can get it, maybe even bigger if you're weird like that. With respects to the mod, I'm not a fan. Like, it's, again, not a pocket fitter. And for me, that also uses a side pouch and never fit my side pouch. It is better, however, than this thing right here. This was way too big. I liked it. It felt way more like a standard Glock or whatever handgun you want to insert your handgun name here. But that was way too big. This is also still too big for my liking. But if you do want that cool kind of centerpiece, you want that eye-opening, ice-breaking, whatever conversation starter mod, this is at least one of them without having to spend a grip. So go ahead and check out the links in the description down below for more information on either or the whole kit and caboodle. Or better yet, come down to Central Cloud Vapors here in Daly City, California. If you live in the Northern California area, Matt and Dyla will talk to you, hook you up on the best deals around. We still have flavors here. Sorry, San Francisco. And if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, please leave that in the comment section down below. You can always follow me here on YouTube as well as Instagram, Lazy Tony Vapes, and I'll talk to you again in the next time. Late.